Just take it back a step. The New York City IDA and New York City EDC are kind of sister agencies in New York City, both really with the same goal to promote economic development, promote employment in the city. They have different types of ammunition available to them. You'll hear Ashley talk about actual dollars that may be available to you, and Maureen's talking about other programs where we can facilitate tax benefits and other access to capital to help your businesses locate here and to grow. And some of the benefits that are available through New York City IDA, if you think about all the different state taxes that a business would have to pay, things like sales tax, real estate tax, tax on improvements to property, even mortgage recording tax when you get a loan. Those taxes, the IDA has the ability to eliminate from your business costs for the right projects. And that's an enormous amount of money to your business. Sometimes it makes it the difference between whether your business can actually get a loan or not. The other program that the IDA administers is actual tax-exempt finance, which doesn't apply to too many projects, but there are a number of types of projects, for example, manufacturing facilities. The IDA has the ability to allow you to borrow money, and when you borrow that money, typically you have to pay interest on the debt. That interest, normally the person who gets that interest has to pay tax on it. If they didn't have to pay tax, that's a tremendous benefit to them. And through the IDA, that interest is tax exempt, which lowers your overall cost of borrowing. So if there's one thing I could get across to you if you're interested in any of these programs, is to go to their websites and just peruse the websites and call them. That's what they're here for, is to answer your questions and to see if any of their programs fit your business. They're really here to help you save money and to build your business in the state and in the city.
And just to give an example, we had on the PowerPoint, we had an example, and again, it's hopefully, it's geared towards probably not exactly your issue or your problem, but it's an idea about how we problem solve in conjunction with your businesses. We had a business that we've helped recently called Best Choice Trading. They are a food purveyor, and they had a space, a complete storage warehouse space that they originally set their business up in. It was a good business, you know, solid, but their refrigeration capacity was over in New Jersey. So you can imagine with all of the trips that they had to take back and forth on trucks with the refrigeration while they had their core operations here in New York City, it was making it more costly, less efficient for them to do their business. They'd have employees, you know, again, we're not talking a very large operation. They'd have maybe 10, 12 employees. Sometimes the employees would have to report to Jersey. Sometimes they'd have to report to their base. And so it became very complicated. At the same time this was going on, we for sure did not want to lose that business to Jersey. They would have had an equal argument to say, you know what, I'm going to take my office operations to Jersey and unite them with where I have the refrigeration capacity. Problem solved that side too. Then I just bring this truck, whatever I need to truck, into New York City. So what we were able to do with this particular business was real estate became available on that block where they could retain the office in the current building. They could break through a wall, and essentially they built a refrigerator inside a building. That was their whole project. There was nothing, you know, it was expensive, but there's really nothing much more sophisticated than that. And it was a little weird for the banks to get their arms around, because the banks, if they just looked at that building with the refrigerator in it, said, well, they're small. If they default on this loan, what am I going to do with that refrigerator building? So we were able to work with them to get them into a manufacturing bond. It's one of the few portions of federally tax-exempt debt that's available to a very basic business owner, and it's been made available to solve these kind of problems. What it gets you is a lower borrowing rate than if you dealt with a bank. It gets you a longer term. The debt usually runs for 25 or 30 years. You all know your bank wants their money back 5, 6, 7 years. So you also have that. You have the length capacity, and then finally, it also enabled the project to go forward and build yet another lending relationship with the business. So my time's up, and I'm about ready to turn it over to my colleague Ashley.
Can you give them the website?
Sure. It's really complicated to find, but we're hosted on the website at www.nyc.com.
NYCEDC.com.
NYCEDC.com. And then if you go on the left-hand side of the screen, you're going to see tabs. And on the left tab, there's something called Financing and Incentives. Click into that, and that'll get you into IDA World. My contact information's on. Once you get into financing incentives, you can just call us.
Yeah. So we're gonna keep this up for, do you have a web presentation? I mean,
Yeah, I have slides.
okay, so why don't you take 2 seconds to take Maureen's information down and the website, and then we can move forward.
We look really fussy, but like we literally sit down the call from one another. We're like 3 desks away from each other. So if you call her but you need me, or you call me and you need her, we're able to transfer stuff. Don't get too hung up on it. Did you call the right person? We'll help you on that too.
Okay, and we're going to stick around for some questions and answers in a few minutes, but we just want to get the last presenter and